you do something differently, some of those connections in your nerve cells in your brain for that problem habit actually start to break, and they start to form other connections in other places which support the new behavior. So this goes very, very deep into our physiology, and you can actually rewire your brain to act differently, to act how you want it to act. So let me see. I think we've got about time for one more of these, and I think I'm going to pick this one, the Get Things Done exercise. So this is something that helps me when I just look at something and it seems so huge, so insurmountable. It's like, oh, I don't feel like getting started on it today. It's just too big. It's huge anyway. I can always start it tomorrow. And you know what happens when you do that? I know everyone does, because we've all done it. I've done it from time to time with various things. And when you do that, guess what? When tomorrow rolls around, you're not going to say, oh, goody, I get to get started on it now. Let's go. You're going to say, one more day won't kill me. And then the next day rolls around, I don't know, maybe one more day. I'll do it this weekend. That'll be good. I'll do it this weekend. And then this weekend rolls around, and I'll do it next weekend. So, like I was saying before, things never happen in the future. Things never happen in the past. The only time anything ever happens is in the present moment. So, we've got to get ourselves moving on that. And so this is great. Apply this to those goals that seem so huge that it's just like, oh, I can't even begin to accomplish it. It's so big. So people procrastinate when their mental pictures of the task are so bad they'd rather not think about it, or so big they'd rather not think about it. The solution is to think of the smallest first step of a task that needs doing. So for the laundry, only think about separating the colors. Maybe you have 30 loads of laundry to do. Just separate the colors for the first batch. Just that smallest first step. If you need to write letters to people, just get out the paper and pen and put them on your desk. That's the first step. Then you can go have a cup of tea and then come back and do the second step, which is maybe look up the address or get out the stamps. And so we're talking about that smallest, tiny little step that you can take toward beginning to do it. Now imagine the moment you have already finished doing just that first step. Run the mental movie all the way to the point where you just feel good about having done it. And do this several times a day. Every time you think about the task, eventually you will just want to get up and do it. This is how to reprogram your mind to stop putting things off and get things done. A lot of people call this, actually it has a name, they call it sometimes the salami tactic. Because if you've ever seen a salami, now this is kind of hard for me to relate to because I'm a vegetarian, but I come up with my own analogs for this. Maybe a zucchini or something. But we'll just use salami because that's a good example. If you take a big salami, can you imagine just putting the whole thing in your mouth or just taking bites off of it, bite, and just going for it and eating the whole thing? Probably not. I mean, it looks huge and not very appetizing, and that's too much. Why would I want to eat all? Oh gosh, I can feel my arteries clogging as we speak. And so actually, that's part of the reason I became a vegetarian. But I digress.